2 years ago, I posted this video sharing with you all that I was leaving classroom teaching to take on online education in a full-time setting. And exactly a year ago, I posted this video sharing my 1-year income. Well, we are here in a new house, in a new teaching office, and with new hair. So needless to say, we've got some updates. Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. This week I wanted to do a short and sweet 2-year anniversary video sharing what I've learned in my 2nd year since leaving classroom teaching to be an online educator. Now, when I tell you I cannot believe 2 years have flown by, I truly mean that. If me 2 years ago could see where I am now in the office that I have designed, and I think turned out pretty okay for my first interior design project, I would have never believed it. If you've been following on this YouTube channel for the last few years, you'll notice a vlog or two that we have sprinkled in, sharing our 18-month house search, trying to take on other side jobs, starting a 2nd YouTube channel, opening a TPT shop, and having the highs and lows of inconsistent income that does come from teaching online. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Kristen, and like I've mentioned many times in this video, I'm a former classroom teacher, now turned online educator and teacher author. If this is your first time here, be sure to click that little red subscription button and the bell down below. And if you are also an online teacher, give this video a huge thumbs up. Even if you're not an online teacher, give it a big thumbs up. And anyway, I did just want to document all the changes and things that I have seen in my 2nd year since leaving the classroom. Now, I am looking at the video I made a year ago just to see what things I was talking about. We have reflection, schedule, life transitions, mental health. I gave away a free money mindset guide. If you guys would like it, I will of course link it down below. And if you want to see what videos I am talking about, I will put both my announcement video, trigger warning, there's a lot of crying in that video, as well as my 1 year since teaching, 1 year since teaching, 1 year since leaving classroom teaching. They'll both be up above in the cards and down below in the description box. But let's go ahead and get started with number 1, reflections. I think I learned from teaching myself into the ground in year 1 how to be better with setting boundaries. I really took a hard approach, and I was listening to other people's podcasts. I read a lot of business books and got a lot of really solid advice that I don't think I could have taken to heart in year 1. Things like, what is bringing you money? That should be where you put more of your attention. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll notice that I don't post a lot on there because I am spending more of my time and attention on things that I know are yielding more of a result. I honestly don't think I've ever made money off of Instagram. It's more of a community that I do plan to get back on. But my biggest reflection in year 2 is the ability to take the hard advice, be okay with being a beginner again. I did start selling products on Teachers Pay Teachers in August of 2022. So fellow TPT sellers, welcome. And I am proud to be okay being a beginner, showing you guys in these videos months that I did well versus quarter 1 of this year, which was a complete and utter failure. But we learn from our failures and it's okay. So biggest reflection, being okay being a beginner, taking solid advice from others, but also being able to protect my peace. Scheduling. I actually just did a video sharing my online teaching schedule, but I have been able to keep a steady schedule throughout this past year. There have been some times where I will only teach in the mornings, 9 to 12:30. That happened a lot when we were moving into this house, just so I could teach in the morning, pack up boxes. We did try to move as much as we could ourselves before hiring this glorious company called 2 Men in a Truck, and they brought everything over to the house, like our big furniture, our bedroom set, sofas, all of the above, things we don't want to lift. I feel like you are truly an adult when you do the following 2 things. Hire movers for a move and drive your own car and pay to have it parked at the airport. Not that there's anything wrong with asking help from others, but in my eyes, those are the 2 things that kind of make you an adult, or make me feel like an adult. But scheduling has remained pretty steady. And again, if you do want to see my current schedule, I have shared it in that previous video, linked up above and down below. Life transitions. Whew. All right. Where do we start? Well, husband and I did complete an 18-month tour of house searching. That is something I do go back and watch on my Instagram. If you guys go to my highlights on my profile, I think it's literally called like searching for a house. And it got so comical. We would be driving to see houses and we would get to them. The realtor would be standing outside telling us, no thank you, we just got a cash offer. This is no longer for sale, we're not having showings. And this stuff went on for a really long time. Or if we did get to see it and we were interested in putting an offer on it, we would put an offer on it and then somebody would come and counter offer ours in cash. There was one time it was up to $60,000 above asking. But, and I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous video, but I'll mention it now since it's closed. I think what made this house different is as we were leaving the showing, we ran into the owner of the house and she was an older lady. And I think it really like moved her to see a husband and wife, you know, the American dream. We weren't looking to flip the house. We wanted to move in. We got to talking to her and she accepted our offer. She did go on later and let us know we were not her best offer, but she went with ours. So don't know how that happened. Don't know like what vibes we were giving or what luck was in the air that day, but we did finally get to buy a house and then we sold our condo. So we literally bought and sold in a ridiculous housing market. And any other life transitions? We now have a pool. We are now taking care of a much larger plot of land. So life transitions are just, we're in our new house era. And we are learning that just as it takes all of your money to get a down payment to get into debt to own a house, it basically takes another down payment to handle projects. Or something fun, the first night in our house, we moved all of our stuff in. You know what decided to break and needed completely replaced? Our water heater. And fun fact for people who have home guard or home insurance, those don't kick in till you've lived in the house for 30 days. At least the policy we were under, 30 days and earlier is seen as a pre-existing condition not able to be picked up or covered by home guard or insurance. So please make sure your house does not fall apart within your first 30 days. Moving on. All right, we're gonna transition into mental health. Well, I can say that there has been an improvement from year one. If you watch last year's video in year one, I mentioned how a lot of teachers, myself included, we find a lot of our identity in being a teacher. And there was a big transition there with me mentally, remembering like, you're not in that classroom anymore. You're not gonna be invited to, you know, the after class or after school day coffee sessions with your teacher friends. Now I still do see some friends from teaching. I actually did get to go to my old school. I got to see the musical they did. I got to meet my predecessor. It was lovely. But this year was more about embracing the change and being okay with having a new identity or just not letting your job define you. I did do, I wanna say, 8 to 10 weeks of therapy because the health insurance we're on does help cover the cost of like Zoom sessions with trained and licensed professionals, and that's actually what we worked on. We worked on not needing our job to be our identity. So mental health, I think we're in a pretty good place. I'm also able to identify when I need a break. I am okay saying no to things I don't want to do or places I don't want to go. I am okay just saying, that's not going to work for us. Old me would need to say like why it won't work and how we can do something later and try to like people please my way out of it. But now I'm okay being kind and polite and just protecting my peace and accepting no as a complete sentence. All right, mental health, we're good. Last year I gave out this free money mindset guide, which I think was pretty great. I will of course give that out to you guys again. It is a completely free resource. It is something that I used last year a lot when it came to tracking my expenses, and I loved having this little goal savings tracker. But if you want to see what I am using this year, and you know what, I will make sure by the time this video goes live, you guys have access to it as well. I made, because for some reason I am more motivated when I have a chart to fill in. You guys can see here, this is my yearly income goal. This is solely for documenting my online teaching. So side hustles, teachers pay teachers, YouTube, that is not included in this. If we get like really close and we're not gonna hit the top, maybe I'll add it in there. But you can write in on the sides like your money goals, and then as your income for the year grows, you can shade this in. I don't know why, but every Sunday or Monday morning, I'll come in here with my coffee and I will absolutely highlight and shade this in. So right now, you can see we're nearing the end of June, and we are hopefully by the 26th, when this video goes live, we'll be shading a little bit higher because we'll have some paydays with summer camps. But I will have this for you guys down below. If you guys also have any suggestions for what to name that thing, I just call it an income tracker. I just highlight the little chart on there. So to wrap this whole thing up, year 2 was my niece is staying with me tomorrow, aka I am responsible for keeping a 9-year-old alive for 24 hours tomorrow, and she's asking what she should bring. Next on our list is income, and let me go pull that up so I can compare year 1 since leaving to year 2. It's not actually a fair comparison because in 2021, like my first technical year, the first 6 months, I was still brick and mortar teaching, and in year 2, I was not. So it's really not a fair comparison, but I can say I made 25% more in my second year than I did in year 1. And honestly, year 2, I kind of knew when to expect there to be a dip in enrollments and a higher number of enrollments. I was able to get my classes on the schedule a lot sooner. Parents and learners could see their options a lot sooner, hopefully yielding in higher enrollments. I will be doing income reports for Outschool, TPT, and my brand new YouTube channel starting next month in July, so make sure you are subscribed. And last but not least, I do want to just watch and see what I said a year ago. I filmed my 1 year since leaving classroom teaching, and I said this at the end of the video. I truly have no idea what I said, but I am very intrigued. So let's talk about going into year 2. This is definitely a work smarter, not harder year. Yep, I can definitely agree with that. Work smarter, not harder. Ooh, look at that coffee. Under my belt, I know the mistakes I've made. I know the things that I want to change. I did write in my top 3 things I am taking into year 2. Number 1, keeping a solid work schedule. That way I know every single week, here are the hours I give to classes. Here are the hours I give to content creation and clients and admin work. I'm still working on those boundaries we talked about when we were speaking about mental health. Hey, I haven't watched this in a year, I kid you not, and we just had that whole chat about working on mental health and protecting your peace. All right, so I think we've done pretty well with that. If I were to keep all of the classes I was teaching on Outschool 2 years ago, I don't think I could do this in a full-time capacity because trends come and go, students come and go. The classes that were popular years ago are not getting the same enrollment, so I did have to continue learning, growing, looking at the business model, and just continue working, especially in professional development. Kind of addressed this when I mentioned that I was able to take hard advice from business owners in year 2 that I don't think I would have taken in year 1 because I was so like gung-ho and wanting to prove people that I could do this. So yeah, so far so good. Prioritizing hobbies outside of work. All right, prioritizing hobbies outside of work. That kind of got run over by we bought a house. This was my hobby. Designing, spending a lot of money, painting this wall, buying fake plants. This was the hobby, but I do try to pull out my ukulele and my guitar. So all in all, I think year 2 was a success. Looking into year 3, okay, and I'll probably look back in a year and forget that I said this, but if I could say 3 things I want to focus on in year 3. Number 1, I would like to focus on building up side jobs like TPT and my music YouTube channel so that I could stop, and I'm gonna use Teacher Tim, Online Teacher Dude's phrase because it really stuck with me. I literally have an email I have not sent him, like writing my reaction to one of his YouTube videos. But my big goal for this year is to try to offset some of the required income I need to pay our bills and hopefully soon be able to lean on or expect that money. We've been slowly building these small side hustles, like my TPT shop. I do have income reports if you want to see how much money I've earned with TPT. Don't get too excited. And I will include next month my first 6 months of being monetized on my secondary YouTube channel. So if you want to see how a YouTube channel that just got the ability to put ads and earn income is doing in its first few months, make sure again you are subbed to this page because I will get on that as well. So my big goals are being able to utilize other jobs so that I don't have to, using Tim's phrase, trade time for money. If I need to lower my classes, or if I want to take some time off and do professional development or travel or learn or whatever it is, I will be able to take that time off, or I'll be able to lower my teaching schedule. So that's number 1. 2, just start learning more about marketing. Not even just with Outschool, but other things that I do in the online space. I think learning more about marketing would be good. And the third thing I want to do in my 3rd year is I want to take a chance with a job. And hear me out with this. I don't mean like a full-time job, but I get offers every once in a while to music direct for a project, or take on like an online or summer singing camp or summit or something. And I usually can't say yes to those things because I have to keep on my schedule to, of course, you know, pay my bills. This goes along with number 1. If I could get more money from other income streams, I could then maybe have the flexibility or time to say yes to other like part-time opportunities that come out. You guys know, if you follow me on this page, I sing with a symphony orchestra every spring. I do musicals every once in a while. But I do miss, and I don't know if I've said this yet, I do miss the community aspect that did come with teaching or any of the other jobs I have done. There's always been me working with others, and this can be very quiet. So if I could throw a bonus thing in there, it's, Kristen, you own this beautiful house now. Invite people over. Don't be, you know, afraid to put a social event or 2 on the calendar, which I know we do. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm a hermit, but it can be hard when you do your 40-hour work week completely by yourself. Anyway, that is it for the end of year 2. 2 years since leaving classroom teaching, and guys, we're still here. Now we are lucky enough and fortunate enough that this is still working for us. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Next month, I'm gonna be doing a lot of income reports, milestones. I wanna start, you know, peeling the curtain apart and show you guys a little bit, that sounded weird. I wanna give you guys more of a sneak peek behind the curtain and show you a little bit more about what it is like to start a TPT shop, or to see how my YouTube channel has done in earnings in its first 6 months. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.